was, and that's when I just said, you know, "Hey Reagan, deer,"
Oh
whispered it to him,
yeah.
and
No, but
and
he said deer. When he said deer, I was like, you know,
Yeah.
because
and I didn't know.
we're like 10 feet apart, and he goes deer, and I'm like, holy shit, he's 40 yards. He's right on top of us. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
That's what we want. That's it.
but
hey,
Holy
then
crap,
I'm
it's
like,
right there. Where? Where,
Yeah.
40? You start looking
So,
around.
so then I'm like pivoting. I'm getting my bow and I'm pivoting and I'm getting on.
welcome back, everybody, to this week's episode of the Texas Public Podcast. We are one day out of opening weekend, and it was a pretty awesome weekend, especially for some of us on the podcast. Maybe not so much for others, but we'll get into some of those details. But we got a lot going on. We just finished the giveaway. Congratulations to Trevor Starnes. I can't believe he won that bow. He just sent us a message like 5 minutes ago. I think he was working this evening. So congrats to him. We're going to get some pictures. Can't wait to meet up with him and get him all fixed up on his bow. I know he's going to be stoked about it. So, but we've got the whole crew here on video, I think for the first time. Last time we all got together, I think we were only doing audio versions, right? So, of course,
right,
Rudy's here. What's
Yep.
up, dude?
I'm here. Excited to be here once again. Blessed. Glad to have all the brothers from other mothers here and hear about all the adventures. Even though I was blowing up y'all's phones, we actually get to sit here and talk about it now. So I'm
yeah.
Yeah.
excited for that.
For good reason, right? So, and Reagan and Dave are both here. They hunted together for a time. So, Reagan, what's going on, dude?
Just re you know calming down after the weekend, going over everything, getting stuff reset, for the next time getting to go out.
And you just got back today, right?
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
And Dave's
That was
here.
another hard one.
Dave had to head in a little early. So I think he had to get out of the woods and back into daddy mode a little bit, huh?
Yeah, I had a sick 6 year old at home, and 5 week old baby, and it was a lot for mama, so I came home a little early.
Well,
But she's good today. Everything's good.
that's good, man. Glad everybody's doing good. But you're a good dad. That's a good. You did the right thing. I
No, I
promise.
try,
Yeah,
man.
it's hard. Well, that opens you up for that net chest hunt and
Yeah,
the other hunts,
for
not the
sure,
other
man.
draw hunts, other public land hunts that we're going to be having later.
Hey,
Absolutely,
Oh
man.
yeah.
and that's the thing, right? It's not like it was, November 10th or November 10th, right? It's like,
Exactly.
hey, it's September. Hey, mama's not doing good. I'm packing up. I'm headed your way, baby. Don't worry about it. I'm here for you.
Absolutely.
Yep, yep, earning them brownie points early.
Yep. And
Yeah.
November 10th, I might have been like, new phone, who this?
Calling the in-laws, huh?
So,
Uh-huh.
dude, I think like I didn't realize that y'all two were gonna take turns like filming, like who's filming and hunting. So like that's pretty cool. Let's talk about that a little bit first. I wanna dive right on in and get into the nitty gritty and see what opening weekend was like for my guys and how it turned out. So
So some of the spots we were, looking at going in with this cold front that came in, or a cool front, not a cold front, but the change in wind really didn't make those spots that we wanted to leave those alone for when things got a little more prime. So opening morning, we actually went into a new area that we've been. It's part of the same area, but just a different side with the wind, and we'd never even been in there. And I was filming, Dave was hunting, and you know the gate we were actually gonna park at originally had somebody hunting there,
Mm.
and so we pivoted to the other side and walked in, and we had a good morning. We really did. We
Yeah.
got in there. I'm not
Set
gonna
up a
say,
little late, but
yeah,
it is what it is.
yeah, yeah. You'll see on the video. By the time we got set up, it was right there. Still gray light and everything, but
that's not a
we had
bad thing.
no, no, and especially being a area we've never hunted. We were able to pick out a pretty good area it really had excellent potential. Ended up, not paying out that morning, but I still think that area is going to be good.
Oh, for sure. And we didn't see anything, but we went scouted a little bit after we got down midday and found a deadhead, found scrapes and rubs. It's definitely a good spot. Just there wasn't anything moving through there that morning. That might have been on us too, coming in there late. Who knows? But it's definitely got potential for a spot.
So you
Oh
fi-
yeah, oh
what
yeah.
you said like scrapes and rubs. Were you finding anything fresh or kind of historical stuff or what?
The rubs looked old, but the scrape was fresh, right,
Okay.
Dave?
Yes.
Yeah,
What was it?
yeah.
What was the scrape? What do you think that scrape was made up on?
Well, it was down in a thermal hub where
Uh,
we found that, and it looks similar to a couple others that we found. That it was just kind of a probably on some trail going through that thermal hub, and uh, someplace that probably does and bucks were both checking.
It wasn't necessarily like real close to bedding or anything. So I think if anything, it's more of a travel corridor for them through that thermal hub.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it was the only scrape, and we looked around good, so it certainly wasn't like a scrape line or getting hit a lot. But and then some of those rubs, there weren't a lot, but some of them were. There none of them were real fresh, but.
Mm-mm.
Y'all finding any feed sign to speak of, browse, any acorns dropping or what?
We didn't see any acorns. I mean, not in the places we were at, and we looked a lot. I mean, we saw some walnuts dropping and no
Yeah.
acorns.
Well, and we found some browse lines. I
Yeah,
did
browse
find some
line.
browse lines, and feeding on beautyberry
Yeah,
and some greenbrier, but I did not see any good acorn sign where we were at right there.
and then that first spot we went to opening morning, there was. It's all it was beautyberry. I mean, other than
Mm-hmm.
trees, I mean, there was plenty of beautyberry for them.
Yeah.
So there's one of those pine thickets that's real heavy understory of beautyberry, not a big diversity, not a lot of mixture.
Right.
Not that that's good
Hey,
or bad. It's just trying to picture an image.
Yep.
right, and we were up on an edge, right at the edge to where the creek drainage was. So then there was some more oaks down in there, but it like Dave said, we didn't really find a lot of heavy acorn sign at all right there.
I mean, the deadhead was the best sign we found. I mean, there's nothing more certain
It
for
was
deer in the area than that.
Yeah, and it was right in the middle of that hub too.
Yeah.
Did you
I
get
was
some
walking.
footage of it?
Uh,
I don't think so, but we got it. Or had it.
What? I didn't even hear about this deadhead. I didn't see no picture or nothing.
Yeah.
A
I
buck?
totally
Big
forgot
one.
about it.
I
totally
did too.
until he just said it. I just totally forgot about it. It's sitting
That's
on my
all right.
front. It's sitting on my front porch.
A little B-roll on the front porch will never hurt nobody.
There we go.
Yeah.
We'll get it in there.
Here,
So,
I'll go run get it while y'all are talking. I'll be right back.
Oh, cool! I can't
So
wait to
that's-
see it.
Yeah.
So, let me ask you something. When you said you pivoted around the pressure and you went in and it kind of forced you to learn a new spot pretty quickly and dissect and adjust, and it sounds like y'all found something that has some pretty good potential for later. And um, didn't you say y'all ended up running into that hunter later?
Yeah, when we left on the dirt road, we saw him coming toward us. Reagan flagged him down. We stopped and talked to him. There's the deadhead.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice shed.
Got to speak
It'll
up,
be good
Reagan,
this
so
year.
we can.
It'll be real good this year.
But
You
yeah,
gotta-
so Reagan flagged him down, and we stopped and chatted with him in the middle of the road. Super nice guy, and we Reagan did it right. He kind of shared where we wanted to hunt in that area, and then asked him where he was hunting. And so, of course, he wasn't. He was pretty forthcoming and told us where he was. And when you go in on that Forest Service road, you can hunt either side of it. And then if you follow that road long enough, it even split. And he was on the complete opposite side than we were wanting to hunt. So, we told him, hey, then if we do see your truck in here and you see ours, like, who we are now, and, we're not going to be stepping on each other's toes. We can hunt this together, and he was real cool about it. He even texted us later, asking us if we, had any luck. Super nice guy, and that's the way it should go. So it definitely worked out with us, you know,
Yeah,
flagging him down like crazy people on the road and having a chat. So now he doesn't walk out and see our truck stacked up on him and be like, oh man, these guys, dang public land, not respecting I was here first. We got it all kind of worked out, so it was nice.
I've
yeah, it
had
was.
had encounters that way as well, man. Just
Yeah.
being cool with the person and then being cool back, and I've also had them 180 degrees the other way.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean,
Well,
we would if he'd have told us he was hunting where we were planning on going, we would have stayed out of it and let him have it. But it just worked out that wasn't the case, and that we weren't going to be there's, no way we were interfering with each other. So
yeah, and he even, he was a great guy. Like Dave said, we text back and forth a few times. He asked how we did. He asked if we were planning on going back in there. He was going to hit another spot anyway, and he was a really cool about it all. And he, he even made the comment, we're in there bow hunting. He's like, we could be just a couple hundred yards apart and not even be bothering each other.
yeah.
And we were actually on two totally opposite sides of that block right there. So it was totally, good. So
Oh, we were where we set up had to have been a mile from him.
yeah,
Reagan, grab that deadhead again because I don't know if we saw it
yeah.
because we only see you when you're
Over
talking.
sheds, he'll be good this year.
So y'all found that where? Like topographically? Where'd you find it?
Down in the thermal hub.
In
It
the
was
thermal hub, yeah. Right
yeah,
around
it
that
was
creek.
yeah, it was where two branches. I was walking in the middle part of where two branches meet into one branch, and I was in that middle part and walked right up on it. Yeah.
Cool.
Can you see it?
Oh yeah, we
Oh
saw it.
yeah.
Saw it that time.
Yeah. Yeah, just a little forky here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a 2-year-old deer.
Yeah.
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 That's it. That deer had a lot of potential.
He'd
Oh
been
yeah.
chewed up by raccoons
yeah.
or squirrels or something. They
Oh,
chewed
yeah.
that one off completely.
Squirrel will tear him up.
So what was
Cool.
y'all's
So,
what was y'all's interpretation of like the surrounding pressure in the area? I know y'all kind of stayed in the woods for the most part, but what was your interpretation like just on the roads? Was there pretty good pressure? Many people out that you think or
We
know of?
we didn't see a lot, and
No.
even where we camped, is a popular place for hunters to camp. And I mean, don't get me wrong, there were hunters there, but it wasn't full. It wasn't like it can like on opening morning a rifle where it's just like a parade of trucks leaving that place at 4 a.m. I mean, it wasn't like that. There were hunters there for sure, but it wasn't. I mean, there were plenty of campsites.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't say. I mean, it wasn't loaded up where we saw lots of activity, hunter activity. But we ran into that one gentleman, and yesterday afternoon when I was going out, I ran into another gentleman. Talked to him there on the road. Same thing. He was great. We got to talking. He was just looking for a fresh spot to go, and I told him where the direction I was headed, and he's like, "Hey, I'll stay away. I'm going to go this way." It's but really that was the only two guys that I've really talked to other than Dave.
We had one guy on camera in one of the spots we were staying out of till it gets better. So that would have been a third hunter but
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we were staying out of that area because it's really the way the bedding and feed set up there for the wind direction and access. It really didn't set up that well, and we got him on camera coming through. But
Yeah.
that's public land, and
Yeah.
you know, well, I'm sure the
And,
deer are used to it.
and to go back to your first question, Rudy, on the, hunting together to film for each other, like we're not always going to do that, but I wanted us to do that this weekend. And I thought it'd be a good idea. If,
I think it's a great idea.
one of us can film, one of us hunts, and especially while we're still, this is our first time doing that, filming and hunting. And it worked out really well. Like I
Oh
think
yeah.
that because I already have a much deeper appreciation for self filming now, that because it ain't easy to film when you're not even hunting, you're just a filmer. It's still challenging.
for, for
So
sure.
it was good to kind of get that weekend under our belt and to focus on filming or focus on hunting. And it I'm certainly glad we did that, but we won't always be doing that. It just gave us a chance to, like, in the tree, in the moment, like while with that hunting pressure and feeling on you,
Yeah.
working that camera, attaching it to the tree, figuring out how everything's going to work, how your setup's going to go.
Yeah,
I
that's
think it's I think that's I really enjoy videoing penny hunt. And
It's
I
fun.
mean, yeah, it's a totally different ball game. You're shooting with a camera, they're shooting with the bow or the rifle.
Well, I mean, not to cut you off, but we jump into that afternoon hunt, Saturday afternoon hunt, and we had swapped roles where I was hunting and Dave was filming. I'm, I tell you what, we walked in, so that's when we were actually driving to go check if that guy was still going to be at that gate, and that's when we ran into him. Well, when he said go ahead, he wasn't even hunting that afternoon. We pulled in there and got our gear, and we went in, and where we set up was right on a ridge line, and it was a transition between uh, kind of open bedding and hardwood into a more pine, and it was right on a ridge.
It was like a three-way transition because it was
Yeah,
like thick bedding, open hardwood, and then straight pine, and it was like right in the center of those three.
on a
Right,
ridge,
on a
right
ridge.
on a ridge,
Yeah.
because the bedding is up on top of this ridge, and then down one side, and then it was the hardwood, and then transition to pine, and we're right on that three-way transition right there, and a beautiful, beautiful place. But that's where we got set up good and early, and I mean, it wasn't 5 minutes after we were
We're
in the
in the
in the
tree.
tree set up. Dave goes, deer.
Well,
I was like,
the crazy thing was I was getting, like, I'd gotten my like kind of still getting stuff set up on the tree, like getting my hip strap on and getting the pack on and getting this out and that out, getting the camera going. And I kept hearing something behind me. And it was too quiet to be a squirrel. Those squirrels are always, that make the loud noise, the small
wow.
yeah. And I kept turning around and I'd look, even got my binoculars out, and looking, and I mean, I did that 3 or 4 times, never saw anything. And then I'd go back to, messing, getting my stuff set up, and I'd hear it again. And finally I turned around and I saw, movement, and could tell it was a deer. Couldn't tell what it was. And that's when, I just said, you know, hey, Reagan, deer,
Oh,
whispered it to him.
yeah.
And,
No, but
and
he said deer. When he said deer, I was like, you know,
yeah.
and,
because
and I didn't know.
we're like 10 feet apart, and he goes 40, and I'm like, holy shit, he's 40 yards. He's right on top of us. Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we want. That's it.
But
Hey,
then I'm,
It's right there. Where?
Yeah.
40? You start looking around.
So then I'm like pivoting. I'm getting my bow and I'm pivoting and I'm getting all set. And by that time I could hear it, but I had this big viney brush in front of me, so I couldn't see it. But I could tell Dave was on it because he's sitting there. He's all getting into filming it, and I'm waiting and waiting, and then finally it steps out, and I'm like, oh yeah, here we go. And then I'm like, oh, it's a baby.
yeah, little baby nubbin buck. He
That's when
got up.
Netflix kicked in. He's
He
like,
got up to from 3 yards from my tree. Like,
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
I'm like filming on this down at him, just like right there.
Dude,
And
he
I
he he kept munching on these huge dead leaves. I mean, he was so close. We're sitting there watching what he's picking up
yeah,
and eating,
yeah,
and he's eating these huge dead leaves, and it was so loud. It was like him eating a mouthful of potato chips.
yeah.
It was hilarious.
That's
And I
interesting.
when I saw those nubbins, I was like, oh man, like what if Reagan doesn't see it, and what if Reagan shoots this deer thinking it's a doe? And I couldn't tell him, I couldn't like turn around and be like, don't shoot. And I didn't want to scare it off.
But say what you first thought, like when you were first filming, you're like going, "Why ain't he shooting it?
Well,
Why
at
ain't he
first,
shooting
yeah,
it?"
before I saw those nubbins, but I don't think you could even see him yet when I had that thought. Like I didn't realize that you couldn't see him. I think there's 5 minutes of me filming him before Reagan saw him.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
definitely.
but so yeah, I mean, I ended up getting like almost 13 minutes of footage of this deer just like right on top of us, just hanging out. I mean, never once spooked, never once acted scared. You know, I mean, he even looked right at us a few times. I mean, that's why those young
He
bucks
was
get
he was
killed,
young.
man. They
Yeah,
don't have
he
any.
was he was young and dumb.
And
Yeah, they don't
all
have
by
any
itself.
self
So then,
preservation.
that's awesome, dude. So then what happens after you see the deer? You don't shoot it.
Oh,
Wanders
so that when
off.
he finally side heeled up out of the way, and I turned around and I was just messing with Reagan. I said, why? I said, why didn't you shoot it? And he looked at me with that look like, come on, dude, that was a baby. And I was like, I'm just making sure you saw those little nubbins. He was like, even if it wouldn't have had nub horns, they was still,
A
tiny little,
baby.
tiny little. I mean, didn't have spots or anything, but it was a yearling for sure.
Yeah.
I could have had my pack, my bow, and that deer slapped over
Yeah.
my shoulder and walked out with it.
But it was cool,
I
man. And for
I
that
carried him
was
out
my
like a person, ate him like fine dish. A little chicken leg.
for my first time having a camera in the woods though, getting to film that deer, especially as close as he got, it was, I mean, it was like this feeling of almost like of getting a deer for me. Like
It
I
is.
shot him with my camera,
I
Yeah.
I told you,
like,
Well,
man.
I like using that term for sure.
yeah,
I told you when you there's something to it. Like it kind of bites you or it doesn't. And like sometimes when you film them, because I mean, it took me a long time just to get one on camera on public land, because I
Well,
did.
yeah,
hey, well,
And
right after that, the trail that little nubbin took side hilling away. I mean, it wasn't an
20
hour
minutes.
later. 20. Yeah, I don't even know. 30 minutes later, I was thinking more an hour, but I don't even remember. But we start hearing something, and it's like, is he coming back? And then Dave looks at me and goes, coyote. And I'm just like, oh, here we go. And I get my bow back out and get all set up. And I mean, he was side hilling the same path that never took away. He was coming back in, and he got to right about 20 yards, and I drew back right when he was passing behind a tree. He stopped, and I let go and shot right over his back. I mean, they couldn't. It I didn't have anything on my arrow or broadhead, but it had to clip hair. It was just right over his back, and you can tell. And he got that on video,
Yeah,
but it just happened to be the shot was right behind the shot angle was right behind a tree, but you can tell when he stopped, I shot, and you can see that dude he didn't know where that arrow come from because he took and started running straight towards us and
yeah.
stopped like 5 yards right in front of us while I was pulling another arrow out to get on and try to shoot him again. So
That coyote stopped though behind the one tree that could have blocked the view of that shot, and like there was nothing I could do about it. Nothing I could do to get it. And I knew Reagan was going to shoot right then because he stopped there. But it all happened so fast. Reagan said he didn't have time to range him, so he thought he was at 25. Used his 25-yard pin, and he was at 20. So he just
well, I got a 20. I had mine set up on 20 because I know how to adjust for 25 to adjust on that, and I just put that 20 like I was shooting 25, and he he wasn't at 25. He was actually right at
yeah.
20.
yeah,
So
man, I
that
will
was my
say,
my
um,
bad.
it's so much fun. Like when you see animals in the woods, like when you're hunting with a friend or like when you're just hunting with people. I don't know what it is, especially like
Yes.
when one person sees it and the other one don't, because you're just looking at each other like, I will say though, a couple of things like when you're hunting with other people, like some people that I've hunted with, we always get like a little hand signal agreement going, and like
Yeah,
and then we'll pick a direction, like when we refer to like and the person doesn't see a deer, 10 o'clock, but you pick a person, whoever's facing a certain direction, tell them, what are you shaking
I
your
ain't
head?
doing hand signals. I'll be like,
Well, that's us. Well, dude, it'll be chaos. It's like okay, if Reagan was a shooter, it's like okay, man, we're going off of year
fall
6.
off that tree, boy.
Where it's like
Yeah, my
we're
wife said that. She said, like, even if it's just like thumbs up, thumbs down. She was like, if you and Reagan had talked about it, you could have given him the thumbs down behind your back, and he'd have known not to shoot that buck, even because if he hadn't have seen those, you know, that he was a nubbin buck.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good
because
idea for sure.
yeah, we've
Lessons
done
learned and adjustments to be made.
yeah,
That's right.
because we've done
And
like
it's always another hunt.
we've done like longhorn, like 2 fingers up for a buck, like a fist with not, you know, just like a fist for a doe, and then like yardage is always like single fingers and a 0 or something like it. You'll be
Oh, yeah.
surprised like after the fact, you know, it's like I didn't know what you were saying, you know, and then
Yeah.
but it's always
Yeah,
fun, man.
we definitely had some learning. You know, it is a big learning curve doing that, and you know, everything from getting set up in the tree to the directions we were setting to the trees we were picking out. You know, all of that. You know,
Heck, I had some learnings this morning when I was watching my footage. I was like, man, you need to go easy on that zoom button. I would zoom in way too much and then back it out, and like, you know, I was like picking apart my filming on there.
Yeah.
But you
I,
know,
fi- I
I'll get
figure
there.
that I figure a lot of our film's probably going to hit the cutting room floor, but
Yeah, you end up seeing like how dramatic it looks on screen, like how fast it actually
Yes.
is. You know, it's like, man, I can just stay in the middle somewhere. You know, where it's
Yeah.
really weird what you start picking up. Yeah, but I think that was a freaking awesome idea that y'all went in and y'all were willing to like, hey man, you hunt off film, and then it's a little bit less pressure, it's a little bit less activity for one person, and you kind of just get the feel for it. You know, and then
Yeah.
before you just go in there and
Dave kind of shortchanged himself, but family comes first. You know, he hunted opening morning, and then I was taking the evening hunt and the next morning, and he was going to get the evening hunt Sunday, but then he had to leave because of the babies. But you know, family comes first. But yeah,
yeah, but I mean, we all know how it works with us, and
Yeah.
it's no different. It's like, man, whoever takes the shot doesn't matter. When you're
oh
hunting like that
Oh
together,
no.
yeah,
it's
it's going to be a team
it's
win right
so
there.
awesome.
I
Oh
can't, like, if filming Reagan shooting a doe or a buck, you know, like I feel like it wouldn't have made. I would have been just as excited, just as like, you know, adrenaline pumping, heart racing as it would have been if I had shot a deer. Like it just, I mean, heck, I felt that way, and we didn't shoot anything. Just getting to film it, like it just, I mean, it was awesome. I don't think I'd ever say no to being someone's filmer if they asked me to. But I mean, it is awesome.
Yeah,
Um, you know, it's addicting. I can see. I definitely can see that.
yeah, it is. It
Yeah,
is
it
a
was
lot of
fun.
fun.
So, I mean, speaking of cameras and figuring them out and all that, somebody else had some technical difficulties this weekend. I want to hear about Mr. Set's hunt.
I think we all had technical difficulties. It just some worked out for the better, and some didn't. You were filming and you know dealing with shooting at last light, just like typical early season is, and I was just flopping around in the dirt out there. I guess you know.
Busted ankle.
Yeah,
Well, you
man.
got a hunt in at least, man. So that's good.
Yeah, we should end on a good note. So I can give you my run real quick. I hunted piece of permission place that I've hunted before, and even you know filmed on it before, and it's just it's like 25 acres, but I've hunted it for a couple years, and I know when where the deer come on and off of it. It's just a matter of if they choose to use it that day or not. You know, sometimes yes, sometimes no. It's just so small. It's cut off by a highway, so your opportunities are just kind of limited. So went to set up on the ground, picked a spot like a couple weeks ago. I was like, I think I can set up right there. Which also, I think I may have gotten poison ivy on my back. That's another
no.
kick.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
man.
another kick in the jollies that I'm wondering about today. I was looking at my back. My wife was. I was like, I don't know. That doesn't look right. And I think it may have been on the tree I was sitting up
She's
against.
probably saying, "Who you hanging out with?"
Yeah, scratching you up, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just happy to be out there, man. I was and saw some deer. I don't want to belabor the whole story. We'll probably make some sort. We'll make some sort of video of it. Got a shot on a big doe, and the shot looked good. The arrow looked good. I say the shot looked good from my interpretation for what it's worth. The arrow looked good. You guys saw the blood full pass through, slightly quartering away. Close to last light. It was about 7:15. I mean, sunset 7:20. Sunsets at 7:10. So it was, it wasn't bad. I passed on her once because she wasn't on camera, which was hard to do. But she had me pinned. I sent y'all a clip. She was like walking me down when she busted me the first time. She was just stepping me off. I walked straight to me. And then she cut to the left. And the whole time I was at full draw, she was center frame in the camera. That was like the whole goal I was trying to work out. She walked off camera. I had a little like soccer ball size hole to shoot through. And I at like 20 yards, probably more like even 18, 19. And I was like, I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to wait. So she kind of trotted off because she spooked, so it gave me a chance to let the cameras roll for a little while in case she came back, and she didn't. Like 5 minutes, I was sitting there rolling all this, wasting all this footage. I turned everything off, and about 5-6 minutes later, here come her and the rest of the does up out of the ditch, out of the ravine. So reaching over, trying to turn everything on. Again, hunting on the ground. I didn't have my controllers with me. I got the camera on, hunting them. Got my one looking at me on. I reached up, and the big camera was on a menu. So I punched it again, thinking in my head I was being smart. I'm like, if I hit it once, it's only going to get out of the menu, and then you got to hit it again to record. But whatever that's worth, that thing went off. I turned it off. Turned it on and turned it off somehow. Took the shot, but the doe was a lot further at that point. The one I wanted to shoot, she was out there about probably what ended up being about 35. And I shot her for what I interpreted to be a little closer to 30. Probably hit a little back, which is kind of okay, quartering away, probably a little low. It wasn't a pop sound. It was more of a soft thump. So I figured I'd hit 3 or 4 ribs back, maybe stomach, but angling away, it was okay. I was like, okay. Like I said, arrow was good. Maybe we'll drop some pictures and stuff in here too, just a little prelude to maybe whenever the video comes up. But man, like I said, I really heartbreaking because I searched for that deer for 9 total hours by myself the first night until about midnight. And the next day I did get a friend and even a kind of a family member to come over and help me look for a couple hours in the daylight. I thought she was held up in this thicket. I was confident we were going to find her. But she didn't leave this thicket. It's just a matter of we got to find her. I found blood, 3 or 4 pools of blood about the size of like a little, not a dinner plate, but like the size of a softball, I don't know. The last thing I found was a little bit of maybe stomach matter contents, a little bit fluidy, and we couldn't figure out where she went from there. And it was a body search of the whole thicket. Couldn't find her. Maybe she ran out of this towards like some acreage homes, nothing like big fancy. We were talking about country homes, But I didn't find her, man. It was super disappointing because I'm pretty sure that it's a fatal shot. She's out there somewhere, so I'm pretty much considering that tag filled. I am. It's just I haven't hit one relatively that well, seeing all the sign that she, but also that's a consequence of hunting a small place. And that's not on anybody but me. Maybe when you're hunting a small place, you need to be extremely selective with your shot and shot distance. And you kind of know that, but it's like when you feel confident about taking a shot, you just let it rip, And maybe looking back, the fact that they were already a little bit on alert when they came, she already knew they were just kind of taking turns peering over there. So probably should have took that into consideration. Like, hey, at 30 plus yards, a lot can happen on a southern deer that already knows something's up. And I think she whirled on me too, very likely, but unfortunately didn't do a good job getting it on camera, and I can't see. So I didn't get her. I was super stoked about getting a September deer, that's for sure, because that would have been early. Yeah, man. So hard to do. I shot a doe last year on October 14th, and that was the earliest I'd ever shot a deer. And just even have the opportunity to get out there and have deer show up, you know,
Mhm.
on a just a place that a guy lets me hunt, you know, out of the kindness of his heart. So it's just bow hunting, you know. He doesn't. I don't can't run feeders on it or anything, but the access is fantastic. I can hunt it a bunch of different ways because it's blocked from the highway. But it was a good hunt, man. It was fun. Super disappointing. I was pretty down about it. I was still pretty down about it, but I don't know. It is what
You
it
just add
is.
that to that list that of things that keep you up at night. You know, like I've got 3 or 4 hunts like that you lay there, can't sleep, you start thinking about those hunts and what you should have done, could have done. Man, it's a terrible feeling. Sorry that it happened to you this weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, you bow hunt long enough, this is going to be a typical story, man. At least you're due for one of these stories every 3 to 5 years, man, for sure. At least with bow hunting. It's such a meticulous hunt. It is very. If you're not on an accurate point with your shot, you're not. It's hard,
Yeah, the bets are
and
off.
if you have to wait a lot longer with a bow shot animal than you do a rifle. You know what I mean? Like they just genuinely like even when you know you made a good shot, it's good to give them 45 minutes. I've always said that. You know what I mean? You got to give them time to lay down. Um, but it happens, Seth. It's gonna happen. Probably gonna happen again.
Yeah.
All we can do is our best to try to make it not happen. And I
Yeah.
think you're gonna be all right. You're gonna go out there and get another deer. Just got to put in another deposit.
Yeah. I mean, I waited about an hour to even go to the arrow. I went to the car, texting you guys, texting you, Rudy, and like walked over and saw the arrow, complete pass through, buried in the
Look
dirt.
good at first, for
And
sure.
we were like, oh
Absolutely. Looked like
man,
Youngblood.
yeah.
You were confident in it, and you know, like when you first texted us, you sounded like there
Very
was
confident.
very confident.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't.
Oh
I
yeah.
didn't send anything until I saw the arrow. When I saw the little bubbles in the arrow, I'm like, "Oh, I've seen this before."
Yeah, I got this one.
Yeah,
I might have hit her back like quartering away.
Single
I'm like,
lungs.
but yeah, I was like, I got her. I got her through the lungs at some point. It was cool. The arrow was painted, buried in the ground, passed through. You know, and so, but I still waited. You know, so like I said, it was about an hour, and it was a slow. And I don't track. I can't. I don't track blood for crap. It's really makes me angry because the colors don't pop for me. I'm colorblind with like browns and reds and greens pretty severely, and then my wife makes fun of me for it all the time. But it's a very crippling feeling as a hunter, so I have to just move extremely slow and look, you know, with a different type of eye. But it's still a crappy disadvantage. So I have to rely on other people's second sets of eyes and I have to just move very slow. I can't see the little pin drops. I was actually proud of myself that I tracked the deer at night about 130 yards. You know,
I'm proud of it, buddy.
I
yeah.
mean, I mean, I just that is the one bright spot. I was like, if you call it that, it's not. There's nothing good about it. But I was like, I'm gonna find her like all by myself. I like because once I've started finding those pools about the size of a softball every about 5 yards. The last
Oh
two
yeah.
that I found. And I was like, she's moving like 5 yards at a time, stopping. She's bleeding. I was like, she's right here somewhere. She's right here. I just can't find her because it's dark. And by that time, it was like midnight, and I was like, I'll come back. I'll find her in this thicket. It just didn't happen. So you know, and the pools had some bubbles in it, but you know, Rudy's kind of helped trying to walk me through some of that stuff, and I'm just kind of verifying things, you know, checking things through, and even Rudy was like, you know, kind of until the end when I found that little bit of stomach matter or whatever, but all things, you know, pointed to at least a dead deer. It's just a
Yeah.
matter of
No, that's
finding it.
definitely a dead deer.
Yeah.
100%.
And it wasn't a ton of
You
bubbles,
got
but
vitals.
yeah.
Well,
So the most disappointing thing is just the not getting the closure. Um, you know, and obviously just disappointed of not getting the keeper. And but yeah, not getting those final learning points, you know, because you're just kind of guessing until you find it. I'm hoping I got people on the lookout. I even drove over that way today, see if there's any birds anywhere or something, because I will go in, I will knock on anybody's door that where I see, you know, buzzard circling or something. And I want to go see if there's anything left that I can get anything from. So
closure. Need the closure.
yeah, um,
at least know how far she went, which direction she traveled, from all your searching and everything, right?
Yeah, that's it, exactly. I had so much invested in it at that point. It's like I want to know like if my interpretations were right and to what degree, or
Right.
if I was totally
Yeah,
off.
right.
You know. So, yeah, it was piss poor showing, I suppose. But I sulked in it for the day and night, and then got out, started shooting. Started shooting again, and
Yeah, get back on the
Stacked,
horse.
yeah.
stacked up, bro. I was like,
But
what the hell?
in the meantime, we got to finish on a much better note because Rudy blew the whole
mayor.
the mayor. Oh, he's ascended beyond the mayor now, bro. He's
Supreme
and
leader.
yeah, he's I don't know where you go from the mayor. You like, you governor now or what?
I don't get no labels. I
The
got
governor.
lucky. I got blessed, man. Y'all, it's no secret. Like I really didn't go out. Like I did a lot of hard work last year. Ran cameras pretty much all the way up till my batteries died. And I was like, I'm not going back out there till right before next season. Well, things came up, new job. It's been real hard to get time with my kids every other weekend as well. And it's just hot, And I kept telling y'all, like, man, I've got enough history here. I think I know what's going on to go get a hunt in at other places. So I haven't even really wanted to go out and put out cams. And I've got another friend of mine who's gave me permission last year to hunt this place, gave me permission this year to hunt this place, and it backs right up to the forest. And it's close to home, it's convenient, and I can't complain, And we didn't realize that this place had a bunch of really big bucks that hung out over there. And it's been pretty cool because I've gotten to watch a group of 12 to 14 bucks hanging out all spring, summer, and coming into this fall, and how they interacted in every step of the phases coming out. And it's been really cool because like I watched them every day hanging out in a big group, and they went into two groups, about 6, 7 in a group. Now they're in like threes. All the big, giant, mature bucks have completely separated themselves from this group. There's three of them. And the other ones are like the really young bucks. There's like 4 or 5 of them. They're kind of still hanging together. And then the other age classes, what I would say like 2 to 4, 3 to 4 maybe. Those deer are in like groups of 2 to 3s. So that's pretty cool.
Well,
And there's a
and
couple does.
to that point, I
Um,
mean, I hate to sound like a broken record, but not everybody hears it. We've just been talking about it so much. With the early opener being as early as it is, it's rare to be this far into September. We're in the middle of those bucks separating, that social shift. We're in the
We
middle daily, the groups are getting smaller, and it's early enough that somebody could have the opportunity to still capitalize on a summer pattern. And it's like, it's just a rare thing. It's like I think there are bucks that are killable this past weekend and going into it, then that won't be next weekend. And
Yeah, I mean, I think, you don't be surprised when you don't start seeing bucks anymore if you have been seeing them pretty regularly on your camera. They're just sporadic, probably going to be moving through. Like I get them all night, yes, all the time, but I don't get them in the morning. I've never got one cruising around in the middle of the day over there. You know what I mean? It's specifically early morning to like for all night feeding, but like anywhere from 3 to 5:30 a.m. I'll get them on camera going to the bedding, feeding on their way, and then I don't see them again until right now. It's been the last hour of shooting light, and it can be any time in that hour frame. You just be ready. Um, and so how this played. There's some y'all have seen the bucks. There's some bucks over there that you would not believe that are coming out of this forest to come onto this private property.
let's not build it
Stuff
up
that
too
I don't
much.
want to post until we get them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let's not build it up
So
too much. I mean,
yeah,
You
you
did
know,
you did that blurry picture of one.
I have to tease people. Hey, I started a trend too,
Yeah,
so it
man.
was kind of fun. It was a fun week. But so and he's been dumping corn. He's got a little hanging feeder. It drops for like 3 seconds at 6 o'clock in the evening, but they don't like it. He's gone out there and dumped like 150 to 200 pounds of corn at a time, and it's gone in 3 days. That's how many deer doe they're feeding all the time at
Mm-hmm.
night. And so no, I wasn't sitting over the corn pile. There's not the trees that are there aren't. There's no way that he cleared out all the brush. It's just a big pasture with two giant oak trees and an island of some. It's nowhere close to where I could shoot that far, but there's a tree line and there's a couple trees on that tree line, and it just so happens a couple of the trails that come out of the tree line are right there where those trees are. So not even a high setup. You could see, I could hear them. I know there's a ridge, Pine Ridge. It drops down. There's a creek over here. I guess you would say I'm facing north. It was a very stagnant, no wind. If I did feel a breeze, it was actually hitting me in the back of my neck, and I was like, "Oh no!" But it was supposed to be coming from the north, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, yeah,
And
we griped about the wind all weekend, didn't we?
I know y'all were, and y'all were like, "Man, it's swirling." I
It
was dealing with
was.
some of that. So uh, when they came in, I was like for sure thinking that I was gonna get blown out as soon as they came out, into the field. And the corn's about, I don't know, 150 yards behind me. So that shows you how close I was to it.
Hey,
I
listen,
heard them coming
there's
down. I heard deer behind me, kind of like coming, and I was like, okay. And at that point, I'm about to be covered because, like I said, they come out in little groups, but they won't be around each other, right? So I had first glimpse I saw. I mean, I just saw a massive body, and I saw points coming. That's what I caught a glimpse of, and I was like, oh my god, that's a big body deer. And I shot a big body deer last year, and this deer was every bit of that. And I was like, okay, my heart started pumping. I'm in the moment. I'm like, camera, put it over there. Well, there's a big giant cow horn spike that's got like a 30-inch spike on one side.
dude,
Y'all seen it?
that thing is insane. Never seen
Yeah, well,
anything
he
like.
almost got it.
I
Y'all
can't
almost
believe
got
he
the
didn't break
spike.
it off somehow. You
But he
know,
What a
was so
unicorn.
strong. Yeah, he was so well. He broke off the other side this year, so unfortunately, I think if we could have had another year to get him, and I'll tell you more about that in a minute. That would have been a cool deer to let go, grow, and see how big of a spike he can truly get, because I think he's going to be a spike his whole life. Um, anyway, so I see him, and then I look over, and he comes running up, and I look, it's a spike, and I'm like, okay, so who's behind me? Well, y'all know about the other buck that's out there, and I'm thinking that's who's behind me walking up with the other bucks. There's another eight. There's two. I named them. There's one buck that's got a crooked G3. I just named them Crooks, and then that's pretty easy to remember. And then there was Hoops. He's a big giant 8-point mainframe. I don't know, that deer's probably, he looks like a giant basketball hoop. That's why I called him Hoops. And then there's, I call him the Snagger, because he's just got this thick mass, just bases, and then it comes out to his ears and it's straight up. That's the deer I thought this one was when I saw his body. And he's actually there. He was there at the feeder right when we started doing all this at the little feed station or whatever.
so
And
what kind of stand are
yeah,
you?
it's
What kind of stand are you in? Like, what's your setup?
beast. My lock on.
You were in the lock on? Okay.
Yeah, I was a stick and a half basically. I mean, I used two sticks, but it was a stick and a half off the ground. When I shot this deer, it was like maybe, so it was somewhere between 10 and 20. I can't give you an exact, and there's no way I could tell you. I just got a single pin, and I know if I shoot between 10 and 20 on, it's dead on.
Yeah. He
And
was top pin range all day, huh?
yeah, well, he popped out. He stuck his head out in the field, and see, I have this tendency to like just make sure to look, because he came out alert. okay, he's legal. And I went back to his body. I'm watching vitals. I'm focused on where I'm trying to shoot, right? And I got my bow. I had to wait for him to turn and look towards the neighbor's property. And when he did, and he took about 3 4 steps, man, and he was kind of quartering to me. And we all know with that shot, you got to put it through the shoulder, and you've got to have a setup good enough. So I'm using a single bevel uh, uh, blade, so it's got a good little cut on it.
Are you still
And
shooting
it
the?
pops.
You still shooting the buzz cuts?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
The only thing I don't like about those broadheads is they make a little bit of noise and like the serrated edges do. So go with the other ones if I had to give
I,
any advice.
I love those broadheads, those buzz cuts with the serrated. I
You
do.
like them? I just don't
Never
like
used
the
Oh,
noise that they have when they come out of the bow because the deer can tend to have a little bit more reaction. This deer didn't have much time to react. It hit right through the shoulder, and it'd be this shoulder, and he came through all the way, and it came out. It's like just before the last few ribs. And what happened is when he comes down, I'm just focusing on the shot and where he was well, I had a perfect broadside when he turned to me because he wanted to loop around like downwind of the feeder. You know what I mean? In the pasture. So that's why he came to me. And anyways, when he got hit, he just did 3 4 bounds and he just stopped and he looked back like you won, like you that look. Like I can't explain it. Like he just gave me the look and just wobbled and boop,
mhm.
legs went up.
Nice.
And yeah, I was freaking out in the tree.
I bet.
And then
Yeah.
my buddy, we were celebrating, and he's like, we're all excited. This is where it gets funny. So we're all excited, He's like, which one? I was like, he's the giant ape, man. He's huge. He got such a big body. I was so stoked. I was like, he's old, man. I could tell. It was big old saddleback, donkey nose. And he's like, oh, cool. So he's like, let's go look at it. Let's go look at it. We go over there. I hadn't even gone up to it yet, bro. We go over there, and he just starts laughing at me, bro. He starts laughing at me.
Oh man.
And I was like, buddy, when I say the ground shrinkage was real, when I was walking up, the body was getting bigger and the rack was getting smaller. And I was
Uh,
like, oh no, not illegal. I knew he was legal. There was no doubt in my mind he was legal when I shot him. I just didn't realize it wasn't the right deer. And he called me this morning. This is my favorite part. He called me this morning. We had a lot of jokes in the moment there. But he calls me this morning and he goes, what are you doing? I said, I just pulled up to work. And he goes, I just want you to know that I woke up and the first thing I did was started laughing. And I said, yeah. He goes, I can't believe you shot that little buck knowing all these giants are out here. And I said, he's
uh,
a giant to me, man. He was such a big body deer. And I'm proud of him,
oh
but it's
yeah.
just a wrong deer. And then, but my kids are going to get an opportunity out there. Penny's going to get an opportunity, I think, out there. And I know he really, really, really wants to get that really big buck. So I'm just going to let him do his thing with that. And maybe I'll get that on film. Maybe I won't. Who knows? But either way, the kids' hunts are going to come up. And Christian's
Awesome.
bound to get a deer out there. So I'm really excited. And to tell you the truth, man, I called Seth this morning too and kind of living in the moment. And I was like, man, I've killed opening day deer within the first hour or 2 hours. I called my shot one time one year, 8 o'clock. I pulled into camp one day, saw some deer out in a pasture, in a water hole, and I told everybody, I said, I'm camping Saturday. I said Sunday, I'm gonna put one hunt in. And that year I shot a doe right at the last minute. That time, but this time I knew there was a high probability of getting a kill, like a very high probability. Um, but it's all the right things have to happen in order for it to go down, regardless of no matter what kind of hunt it is, rifle, bow, spear. I mean, I just seen a lot of cool things recently with that spear hunting that deer. Josh, is that his name? Josh, right? Uh, I'm trying to remember.
Jonathan
Oh,
Jonathan Moreland.
Jonathan
Yeah,
Moreland.
Jonathan
Yeah, in
Moreland. That's who
Arkansas.
yeah. That dude's gnarly, man. I like that guy a lot. Big buck killer.
Well, like you said, man, there's absolutely no guarantees. I mean, and people
Yeah.
hunt near feeders and corn on the ground or whatever the case may be, millions at a time. There ain't no guarantees, dude. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I told you this morning. I said, look, you shot a buck September 28th in Texas and in southeast Texas. Not on a lease ranch or something, where they were you're protein feeding and all that kind of stuff. I said perspective. Last year, you shot that big body buck. What was it, like November 17th or 18th? I said that's 50 days from now, roughly. Like it's almost 2 months away. I said
I call myself a rut hunter.
Well, that's.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I was like, can you
I'm like you,
imagine?
Seth. I think the earliest I've ever killed a deer would have been like mid-October, and that just a doe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's most of mine. I think I've gotten a spike one time in opening weekend. I'm blessed, man, and I couldn't thank my buddy enough and tell him how appreciative I was. And we've been friends for a good while. I met this dude through a track. A lot of my connections that I have where I get to hunt, the people that I've met in my time have offered me a place to hunt. Not because they want free tracks or anything, but because we just kindled friendships over those times. As a matter of fact, look at all of us, you
Mhm.
know.
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying that, it's because we're all bad shots, but it helped kindle these friendships more than what they already were before I actually came out and did something, to help you guys out. And I just think it's really cool. And my buddy's never said this, but last night he was like, "Man, I'm having so much fun, man. I love you, bro. Like you've been my hunting buddy for the last 3-4 years, and it's never been a dull moment." And he's right. It hasn't. It's been so much fun. And not many times that Rudy says that he's going to go sit in the stand with a buddy and hunt. And dude, it's not about if we always see something, but it's not about that. It's like we're hanging out, we're BSing, we're cutting up in the stand. Deer shouldn't even be walking out, and it happens,
Yeah.
And we've got some of the funnest hunting stories, even though we may have not killed something. But this is one of those times where he was hunting the front pasture, and I'm hunting the back pasture this time, and it worked out. We weren't in the same spot that time, but
Man, that's what makes it fun. And just that camaraderie out there for sure, man.
yeah, I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
like I do hunt to get away, and because I mean, I work, with people every day, and I'm always talking to folks, and I'm a people person, obviously. But at the end of the day, like I do like getting away in my quiet time and having some me time, But the times that I do get to share hunts with brothers from other mothers, man, like I
Oh
love
yeah.
them. Like I really do, So like me asking, I think that's cool. I thought it was cool that y'all had that game plan to. It kind of made me think about the hunting public a little bit, or somebody that where they don't go out and just specifically do it themselves. They're trying to help each other, and
Oh yeah.
y'all's whole journey has been that, and that's something special, since the day y'all met,
For
out
sure,
there
man.
on that, yeah, and y'all did things last season to be successful, and here you are adding a whole nother monkey wrench in this deal, and
Yeah.
because it ain't easy, and we told y'all that, and we said, hey, if it don't work, it don't work, man. We understand it's not for everybody, but y'all are gonna make it work. I know you are because you already did,
We
and
have.
y'all already feel the same things that I felt when I got my first deer or pig or my first kill. Even when you start getting your first kills on, you start slinging arrows and at things, or shooting bullets downrange. Wait till we get those hunts where you get a double because there's bucks chasing does, and one of y'all smoke one like, hey, give me the gun, hey, give me the camera.
Yeah.
So, and I'm excited too because it opens up me to do a little bit of bird hunting this year. The pressure's not there. If Seth wants me to come tag along and get something on film, I'm down. I'm down to get out, to all these other spots that we plan on this year. And I'm excited to see y'all go on y'all's draw hunts and got a lot of good opportunities. I was just thinking like, man, this little buck I got was just the spark. It's the
Oh yeah.
flip of the rough weekend we had. It's the flip of the switch, and it's gonna start happening from here on out. So, and it's just the first weekend, dude. And look
Yeah.
how much action we already had.
Dude,
So
I
what?
feel like we're gonna make something happen at Natchez. This will be my third year in a row to hunt there.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure how I got lucky enough to draw it 3 years in a row, but I have, and I feel like that like every time I learn more, getting a little closer, learn like and with 2 years of history there, I feel like I'm going in with a big head start. And Reagan's on that unit with me. He's hunted Natchez, but not this unit. So with my boots on the ground knowledge and his map scouting, we got a heck of a game plan set up for the end of October. And when we were there that first year, we both said, because it was mid October, that we were a cold front or a week
Early.
out from being
Yeah.
from being there at the right time. Those bucks were moving at night. I mean, I would go in to where I was hunting and find scrapes that were not there that evening that were there in the morning. Those like they were all over it, but not during the day. And we were just a little early. And this
Yeah.
year, when we're going in, is that last week of October. So we are in the right time for an archery kill at the Natchez for sure. And we got lots of good knowledge in that area.
I'm excited
Yeah.
for y'all. I can't wait to see what happens out of that.
Yeah, that's gonna be super fun, man. That's what's cool is like,
And it's different because y'all got more knowledge.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Most definitely.
and that hunt that I got drawn for, I've been trying to scout it, map it out as much as I can. The group of guys I've gone with, they hunt a little different than I do, but they've got a little more experience. But I got hooked up with a guy who told me he's hunted there like 7 times, and he was like, man, if you want to hop on the phone or you got any questions, and he's like, or if you just want to swing by the house, meet up one day. And I was like, man, I'll absolutely. And I was like, thank you, I'll take you up on that. He messed it, but we live about 45 minutes apart. You always hope for the best, but it's like, man, I'm probably not gonna make it by there. He sends me a message, and he's like, hey, I'm playing. My kids are playing over where you live on Thursday. I was like, really? What time? And he told me. I said, what field? And he told me roughly, and I was like, I will get home. I will meet you out there. So I went out there and sat in the stands with him, watched his kids play football, and his daughter play football, and she was freaking awesome. I'll tell you that much.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, 7th grade, and she was killing it. So it was fun, and I sat there with him for an hour and a half, and we looked at the maps. He showed me all kinds of stuff, just that you couldn't learn in a first trip. So I feel like I've got
Nice.
a very very grateful leg up just to start, and it's gonna be cool. So I'm thankful for that, and yeah, it was just cool to go meet a stranger and just
Yeah.
sit there and just look at the map. Hey, well, what about this? What is this? What is this? Is this a road? Can you get in here? Can you get around this side? Can you go this water? And he knew a lot of those answers, So,
We got
So,
a
hey.
lot of good season left.
Yeah, I was just looking at the weather, and it's showing that it's going to be the same weather pattern we have right now, all the way till mid week of the week following, and then we have a chance for a front coming through, not this coming week, but the week after. So it's like going to be hot all the way through midweek following week, and then maybe a small front that week, setting up for that next weekend.
Yep.
I might not kill a deer.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. Like I'm just jealous because Rudy's like I was telling him earlier, man. He's playing with house money now. He can go out and just kind of, just kind of be wild. Go to new places and just kind of. You don't have
That's
a
right.
whole lot of pressure on your decisions. Like this is what I think I want to do. That's what I'm gonna do. And then like sometimes those carefree decisions are like just using instinct and just being able to just make a decision and go because you're just like that's like when you're at your best. I feel like it's just
trying to have fun.
inherently.
That's all I'm trying to do. This damn job's gonna kill me. I know it. I love it, but it's definitely helping out, pay the bills, and get everything done, making the deer season possible, the tracking season possible. But
There you go.
man, it's just hard because I don't get the time that I want. I don't need the time. I want that time.
Yeah.
To put in the woods and go and really commute. And I feel like sometimes I do have a target deer. I mean, in my mind on a certain piece of public land, and because I know the potential there. Y'all have seen it, you know.
Oh yeah.
So it's gonna make it easy. I've got 2 buck tags, right? So some doe tags, and I've got that doe permit. I didn't do any draw hunts, man. It's hard for me to do that. And in this year with the kids, I don't know, for here on out, it's gonna be hard with the kids.
Yeah.
So but you know, like my main goal now is to make sure that my kids get deer, and I'll go use that doe permit.
There you go.
Well, and I mean that's what makes it fun. I mean you're in a new situation. You're gonna have limited time to what you're used to. You know, Dave's got a kiddo. You know, Reagan's got a pretty demanding job. You know, we all got demanding jobs. You know, we're just trying to work through it the best we can, just like anybody else. You know,
That's right.
that's what makes it fun. And we've got some unique hunts coming up this year. Like I said, that hunt I mentioned was something different for me, and I wasn't talking about Kansas. That's in Texas, and I also got to go to Kansas. I'm still kind of
Makes me
forgetting.
jealous I didn't put it in with you and Grady, man.
Oh yeah. Well, you got to jump in
That
there
is a
next
cool
year, man.
hunt. I
Yeah.
just need to start trying to put in for hunts. I just never do, man.
Well,
'cause
you can hesitate on that
schedule,
stuff
man. It's
because
like making plans is so hard when you're a tracker. I promise you.
well, it's like once you make the application and being a resident, it's not a huge cost, but once you pay, do the application, you buy your permit, it's like you got a little bit invested in it and you go, you just don't
Gotta
lose the
go.
money. It's a time commitment, and they like the place I got drawn for in Texas, it's a 4-day window. That's all you get. That's a lot of how it works, they give you that time frame and you go. If not, it's not
Yeah.
like it's open all year. Show up and log your days, you get your time
The only
frame.
thing I've drawn like that was Trinity National Wildlife Refuge. They gave me the whole month of October to go. I didn't get the permit on that and actually go do it, but they that's the way it worked there. I was shocked because every one of them I've ever gotten is, like I said, just a small window of time.
I'd live out there for a month. I'll be like, they're like, you ain't leaving? I was like, you see how big my cabin is? It's a 10 cabin tent, man, bro. I'm out. I ain't going nowhere until I get my deer.
Well, man, I feel like we did. I feel like we covered a lot in an hour. We're right at an hour, and I was worried we run
Yeah.
long, but I feel
No,
like
it's
we,
fun.
yeah, I feel like we got the weekend. So much going on, and so much to look forward to. So it was
It was a great weekend.
it really
It was.
was, for an opening weekend, and a lot of people, had good encounters. It was just nice weather, low 60s, high 50s, kind of in some of the northern areas, and it was just like, man, you couldn't ask for nothing better, except no poison ivy on your back. That's not.
Yeah,
No, nobody likes
yeah.
that.
It was it got down. It was like 58 on Saturday morning.
Yeah,
I was sleeping in the
know.
tent, and I just brought my like summer sleeping bag. Didn't check to see how cold it was gonna get, and man, I was that first night in the tent. I was freezing. Reagan's wife gave me a blanket for that second night, and I was sure glad for it, man, because I woke up cold in the middle of the night and grabbed that blanket to put on that with that sleeping bag, and I was good to go after that.
I stepped out of the camper and I'm like in shorts,
It gets
sleeveless,
cold up there, bro.
sleeveless shirt, shorts, and I'm like, you got 2 layers of clothes on?
Yeah, my
Dude.
neck would have been so hard.
Dude, you're just like a giant
bear.
that stays hot. Like I don't even get it.
Polar bear.
Like I proved to him. I was like, I breathed out, and I was like, dude, look, you can see my breath. Like I'm not the one that's being weird here. You are. And
I had my thinnest synthetic shirt on. I'm like, I had to wear a headband to keep the sweat from pouring down everywhere.
I'm in
I
the
ain't gonna
tree
lie,
with my
man.
teeth chattering, and he's
I was in that
sweating.
broadside camo, and it was not that bad.
Really?
No.
It worked out good, huh?
Yeah, it wasn't that hot in it. I mean, it feels like a material that would be hot,
It does,
like warm,
but it's not.
but it's not.
Oh.
It's so light. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I really do.
I wore mine too, and it was great. I sweat a lot too, and and of course I had it when I was looking for that deer. I got home and I took it off, and I was gonna like put it in front of the fan and let it dry, and I kind of like squeezed it, and when I was up walking around, just the night breeze, I guess it wasn't really wet, it wasn't sweaty, so I didn't have to dry it off. So yeah, was kind
I
of
need to talk
surprised.
to Troy, see if he make me a bandana or a headband or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Big shout out to Troy and them too for Broadside Camo. Him and his son. I know we've talked about it a couple times briefly. Just posting some stuff, sharing, and Troy jumped in and was like, "Hey, man, we got to know you at the show, and we see y'all posting our stuff, and we love Texas, so we want to hook Texas up." So he gave us a discount code. We haven't even been throwing it out enough. We need to do our part, but I'm pretty sure he gave us the code as TTW 10, I believe.
TW10.
Yes, TTW 10 for 10% off for Broadside Camo. So big shout out to Troy, man. He's awesome, dude. Working
Nice.
class dude. Yeah, grassroots company. Like his wife runs the website, packages everything. He's awesome. Talked to him on the phone for like an hour and a half. And he
Might have
just
to get some myself the way you guys talk about it.
It's nice. I'm not gonna lie. And I mean, I did buy a full system, other than the head face wrap.
yeah, like the gator.
Because I'm brown, so
I
I
like-
already blend into the tree a little bit.
I like that it's reversible too.
Yeah,
That's it, man. And that's what I love. The pants
Well,
are
those-
reversible.
Those that like skyline poking through the trees on that one, I don't remember what it's called, but like I don't think any other camo company has that, where you like actually get like what it looks like to look up at the canopy, in a
That's
forest.
what
Like
it looks like.
yeah.
Yeah.
It really it's pretty
And
it's
then
pretty
that
cool
other
stuff,
one,
man.
if you flip it, I mean, in my opinion, in the evening times, it's a darker colors, a lot of shadows, a lot of grays. But if you're ground hunting or in the evening, if you flip it to the other color, man, you can tuck into a little concealed spot and just be forgot
Yeah.
it's there.
Yeah.
That
man.
black and white image Seth did wearing that one. I mean, it was hard to pick him out.
Yeah, I think that that helps you see the contrast of the pattern, and not like if you were just trying to separate the color, and that way you can
Yeah.
kind of see like
The deer can't see that, so
yeah, but it was pretty cool. So yeah, but big props to him that we just gave him. But
well, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm ready to get it on, and I'm tired, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to. I'm getting a call from Ryan Hart.
uh-oh.
There we go.
Well,
Sorry.
No, I think we're good, man. I'm ready to wrap it
yeah.
up. I got to work in the morning. Rudy got home late.
Yeah.
We've all, thank y'all for jumping on and
I
catching.
appreciate y'all jumping on, dude.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
heck yeah, man.
It's fun to get all
Looking forward
together.
to the next one.
Yep.
Absolutely.
It won't be long. So, yep. And especially being a weekday, especially fresh on the mind though. We want to get those weekend memories captured. So,
Absolutely.
yep.
So,
All right. Appreciate everybody
All
jumping.
right.
Thanks for watching the podcast. Thanks for listening to the podcast. Go wish Rudy congratulations on his September buck, because I'm telling you, it's a rare treat. I'm telling you, dude, I'm so jealous of him, especially the way my weekend went. But I get to live it through Rudy because we're a
Yeah,
team.
man.
So thanks, Rudy, for being the mayor.
The mayor.
Well, appreciate you guys watching the podcast. Yep. Thanks for
ridiculous.
So thanks for listening, man. Thanks for watching the podcast. I'm getting a call too. So we'll see you guys back on the next episode.